I want to discover together a Jewish learning tool that I believe can help us cultivate higher levels of focus and concentration to our often scattered and attention span shrinking souls. Shalom, my name is Rabbi Noach, and welcome to my Torah Thoughts channel, where I, as a rabbi and psychotherapist, delve into the areas of Judaism, mental health, and personal growth. So let's learn together a powerful Jewish study tool to stay focused. Now, as a people of the book, we have been entranced and enthralled into the world of Torah study, its laws, its stories, its wisdom, its values, for thousands of years. And in order to be immersed in that world completely with all of us, we have been gifted many tools to help us keep our focus, our hearts and souls engaged in the learning that we're doing. And I want to help us take some of those tools which are used for the Torah's Chaim, for the Torah of life, for the most important values that we have, and apply them to other areas of our life that are also important, such as our jobs, our study, whatever it is, keeping our focus, whatever it is that matters for us to be able to do deep work and have deep focus. I want to take some of these tools and we can apply them into different areas of our lives, hopefully for good things. I'm going to start with one very simple and effective tool. But before that, when I say the word library, what comes to mind for you? I'm guessing, for the most part, you're thinking about quiet. You're thinking about calm. You're thinking about a place where you can hear yourself think and just keep your attention on what matters, that it's not loud and all over the place, but you can actually get what you want done because it is a place of seriousness and calm and quiet. But contrasting that, the yeshiva, which is an equivalency basically of a library, a place of higher Jewish learning, where people are immersed in Torah study, people are trying to cultivate understanding and awareness about important concepts, it is not quiet. It is actually very, very loud. It is booming. It is like a marketplace. People are screaming. People are talking to their chavrusas, their learning partner, and they're immersed. There's discussion. There's back and forths. There's real animation. And I would say that that place is also a place of deep focus and a deep cultivation of learning. So, of course, there's times and places where we want to study very quietly, and there's a role for that. There's a place for that. But I want to discuss today the value of learning out loud to stay focused in the moment of what matters to you. Whatever that is that you're studying, whatever that is that you're learning, whatever that is that you're trying to integrate into yourself and retain knowledge and wisdom. So just going into this, there's just so many different places that we can learn about this tool. But I want to go back first and foremost to the Rambam, Maimonides, in his law code called the Mishnah Torah. He says, "V'chol hamashmiya kolo bish'as talmudo," whoever makes a sound with their voice during moments of study, talmudo miskayem beyado. His learning is miskayem. His learning is retained. His learning is kept. His learning endures in his hands. It's in his understanding. It's in his grasp. Aval hakore balachash, if a person reads or is learning in a place of quiet, lachash, quiet, a whisper, bimherahu shochech, it's more likely to be forgotten. It's more likely to not be retained. So we have a very simple equation. Learn out loud, it sticks. It keeps you there. It is retained. Learn quietly, and it's forgotten. I know that you might be thinking that you like the calm, you like the quiet. Whenever there's too much noise, it really throws you off and you lose your focus. And okay, maybe there's different tools that we can discuss that are about a calm and quiet place, but just work with me here. Let's learn a little bit of the logic about learning out loud and see if it resonates with you as an extra tool that you have in your toolkit. I just want to go through a story that I think really helps solidify this understanding. It's from the Gemara, and it's a discussion actually about one of the famous female scholars named Beruria. She came across a student who was learning very quietly. She actually gave him a little kick and then called him out on it and said, Amra le, lo kach kasuv, arucha bekol ushmura, ordered in all things and secure. So she's quoting a place from Shmuel. If it's ordered in your 248 limbs, in Jewish tradition, we're not getting into anatomy, we say there's 248 limbs, mishtameret. If it's ordered, if it's arucha in your limbs, it is preserved. So just to kind of break down this briefly in a commentary by Rav Adin Steinsaltz Zatzal on the Gemara, he basically says when it says arucha v'kol shmura, im arucha with your 248 limbs, it's going to be preserved. It means that when your Torah study is ordered, is arucha, when you exert your entire body, all of your limbs in your Torah study, then it's going to be mishtameret, it's going to be preserved. So when we're studying alone, when we're studying quietly, our body is not fully immersed and engaged in the learning. And the argument is that it's not going to be mishtamered, it's not going to be guarded, it's not going to be preserved. That's what Bruria is saying to the student who's not studying out loud. And Rav Noach Weinberg Zetzal, founder of Jewish Torah, really brings this down so beautifully that I think it's in one of the 48 Ways to Wisdom, Arichat Sfatayim, articulating your learning. This is a quote from him based on the 48 Ways to Wisdom, which is in the Mishnah. The more senses you have working at one time, the deeper the impression. Saying something out loud means you are using every one of your bones. You are using your diaphragm, your brain, your ears, and your lips, teeth, and tongue. Try to be consciously aware of involving every fiber of your being. I work with a lot of people with ADHD, and often what happens is they have an intrusive thought, or with OCD as well. I work a lot with OCD. Basically, you have thoughts that take you or distract you from the life that you're living, the things that you're focused on. So if you have an intrusive thought about that, or you have an impulsive thought about that, and instead of just letting that thought go and coming back to focus, the thought takes you on a journey, usually a mental journey with a lot of rumination and a lot of analysis, but you go from doing one thing to thinking about a whole other set of subjects, and you're not focused on what's in front of you. And so I always say that when you're stuck in rumination, when you're stuck and you can't focus and you keep scattering and your brain is taking you everywhere, bring as many senses into the moment as possible. When you're just reading and you're doing that silently, you're using your eyes, which is great. But when you use your mouth, then your mouth is making a sound, and then you're hearing that sound, and you're already engaged in so many more of the senses. And that is going to keep you much more focused on what you are doing. And this is a beautiful psalm that I kind of want to end offish that just says, Kol atzmotzai tomarna. With all of my bones, I'm going to speak. When you speak, you engage the whole body. Like even just when I'm speaking now, I'm moving and I'm feeling and I'm touching and I'm hearing and I'm seeing and I'm listening. I'm moving here, I'm banging this, I'm moving that. So I'm already engaging much more of my senses, and then whatever I'm focused on has more to land on. There's more there, more immersion in the moment than just studying quietly, learning quietly, trying to focus quietly. So you can also just sort of narrate your experience, just have a conversation with yourself and like kind of teach yourself and be like, okay, we're focused on this, and this is how this works, and this is how this piece fits in. And you're just back and forth with yourself and just making sure that you're completely engaged. Either way, you're using speech to keep focused. Of course, there are way more tools, but one for sure, speak it out loud. Kol atzmosai tamarna. So please like, share, subscribe if you found